Antarctica is an immense continent of ice, where temperatures can drop below -100 degrees Fahrenheit. Beneath the thick layers of snow and ice lie countless mysteries, some of which could change our understanding of history. More than 98% of this land is covered in ice, making it almost inaccessible. Yet it is here that scientists manage to uncover astonishing finds. Instead of the familiar white expanse hiding barren plains, beneath the surface of Antarctica lie secrets that have remained invisible to the human eye for centuries. The chances of success for many expeditions have been close to zero due to harsh weather conditions and relentless storms. Researchers venturing here risk never returning home, yet they are the ones who lift the veil on what lies beneath the icy surface. In the distant past, Antarctica was not the frozen desert we know today. Millions of years ago, it teemed with life, lush green forests and unique animals. Over time, the climate changed, and massive glaciers claimed the continent. Such a complex terrain has made Antarctica an alluring subject for research, for beneath its icy layer may lie something far more significant than just ice. Recent studies have even revealed that ancient structures might be hidden under the ice. But the most intriguing discoveries are still to come, as the icy veil occasionally reveals its secrets. The next step is to delve deeper into these mysterious objects, which may be exactly what researchers have been seeking for so long. A team of researchers, making their way through the snowy wastelands of Antarctica, stumbled upon a building that had not the slightest mention in historical records. At first glance, the structure looked like an ordinary station lost among the ice, but upon closer inspection, it became clear this was something entirely different. The harsh weather conditions they faced only heightened the atmosphere of mystery. Bitter winds howled through the deserted corridors, and the roof seemed ready to collapse under the weight of the snow. Peering inside this enigmatic structure was like stepping into another world. Long hallways were filled with silence, occasionally broken by the wind's mournful hum. Yet everything suggested life had once bustled here not so long ago. Layered windows were crusted with ice, rooms crunched with snow underfoot, and frozen footprints led deeper into the building. All of it filled the air with tension. Ceiling lights, through which faint light seeped, cast strange shadows on the walls. The most astonishing part was what the researchers found inside. Furniture, equipment, and even old documents, all seemingly abandoned in haste. These items, stranded among snow and ice, suggested the building was connected to something significant, perhaps even one of the most important discoveries of modern times. Questions arose. Who built this structure? For what purpose? And why was it out of sync with the known historical timeline? But most striking were the symbols left on the walls and doors. Unreadable, impossible to decipher. It felt as if the building existed in defiance of logic and time. Entirely hidden from the outside world, the complex contained so many secrets that each new find could be the key to solving a past no one even suspected existed. And as the researchers trudged through the snow-filled halls, one question lingered. What might be hiding behind the next door in this mysterious place? Through the dim light filtering in from ice-covered windows, the researchers noticed something strange. Mysterious symbols etched onto the building's walls. These markings looked as if they had been left by some ancient civilization of which little is known. Interwoven lines and patterns formed incomprehensible images that defied all known linguistic systems. It was clear their meaning had been lost to time, leaving only speculation about their true nature and purpose. To the team's surprise, the symbols weren't only on the walls, they were carved into doors and even pieces of furniture, as if holding some special meaning or warning. The mosaics in which they were embedded resembled ancient artifacts found in other parts of the world. Yet these were unique because here, in the endless snows of Antarctica, their presence raised countless questions. Could it be that someone, long ago, considered this place important? And what role did these symbols play in the lives of those who left them? The researchers took photographs and carefully sketched the symbols, intending to learn more about their origin. Perhaps the answers hidden in these markings could open a new chapter in human history. What message were the ancient builders trying to leave behind? While these questions remained unanswered, one thing was clear. The team faced one of the most extraordinary and mysterious challenges of their careers. Ahead lay new discoveries, and possibly the solution to what had drawn those who left these symbols on the frozen walls of this strange structure. Venturing deeper into the mysterious building, the research team came across massive safes hidden in the shadows of one of the far rooms. The towering metal doors commanded respect, their intricate locks seemingly impenetrable to the untrained eye. Ice clinging to their surfaces made opening them even more difficult. Yet the scientists' determination to uncover the secrets behind those doors only grew. After hours of tense work and the use of specialized tools, one of the safes finally yielded. Inside, the team found meticulously packed containers and crates, coated with a layer of frost. Further study revealed that these containers held documents written in an unknown language, along with artifacts of apparent significance. Each item was perfectly preserved in the constant cold, as if waiting for its moment to be revealed. Not all secrets were unlocked so quickly. Some safes remained sealed, their contents hidden. Still, what they had found was intriguing enough to confirm that the building concealed far more than anyone could have guessed. Who were the people who left all this behind in haste? And why did they deem it necessary to store such items here, in one of the most isolated places on Earth? With each corner of the mysterious structure explored, a new spark of curiosity was lit. Ahead lay new discoveries, and even more questions awaiting answers. Deeper in the frozen corridors, strange artifacts were discovered, objects that seemed to belong neither to this time nor this place. Foremost among them was a massive globe covered in frost, its surface strangely distorting the outlines of known continents. Nearby was a set of devices resembling modern navigation instruments but with distinct differences, filled with mysterious dials and needles frozen in perpetual stillness. The room's scattered items raised many questions. Among them were massive metal tools clearly unsuited for ordinary use. Their shape and design were unfamiliar even to experienced engineers. There were also strange cylinders made of unknown material, which likely contained something important. On the tables were maps, coated in dust and age, showing unfamiliar territories that didn't match modern geography. On one table lay scattered photographs depicting people in strange uniforms, surrounded by equipment and weaponry unfamiliar to the researchers. These images, as if torn from another time, added further intrigue to an already mysterious place. As the team studied these finds, one thing became evident. Whoever left them behind did so with intent and a clear purpose. Now they faced the question, how were these artifacts, found within Antarctica's icy walls, connected to the uncharted chapters of history? On the horizon loomed a new challenge, demanding swift and decisive action. It remained to be seen what had brought these people here and what secrets were hidden in this frozen wasteland. Amid the frozen corridors, where every step was a struggle, the researchers came across an office that might once have been the heart of this enigmatic structure. Scattered across the floor were old documents, their pages covered in frost, like the pages of a long-forgotten book. The papers were filled with symbols in a language that none of the team recognized. It was something unusual, perhaps a dialect not recorded in humanity's archives, or even an entirely new creation whose existence had remained a secret until now. The documents, it turned out, were meticulously organized, each page numbered and stamped with a seal resembling a coat of arms. The contents, still incomprehensible, intrigued with their air of precision and mystery. The scientists extracted several sheets and began studying them closely. Some pages were adorned with detailed maps and descriptions, possibly of places or structures whose existence in this part of the world had never been suspected. Others contained blueprints and diagrams, their purpose still unknown. Among the documents were also old photographs. They depicted a group of people in what seemed to be military uniforms, their faces marked with determination and focus. The backgrounds in the images were unrecognizable, possibly places long buried beneath the ice. All this suggested that this mysterious group possessed secret knowledge and technology far ahead of their time. This discovery challenged conventional views of science and history. The secrets contained in these documents could shed light on many mysteries hidden in the past, but studying them would require time and effort, and the team understood they faced a daunting task, deciphering this legacy, seemingly left behind for those daring enough to venture into the heart of the frozen wasteland. Ahead lay new enigmas to be solved, each one capable of changing our understanding of history and science. The researchers continued their journey deeper into the mysterious building when another discovery caught their attention. In one room, they found old military uniforms neatly hung on metal racks. These uniforms appeared to be a cross between military apparel and specialized gear, yet clearly different from any known military dress. The material seemed designed for extreme conditions, capable of withstanding the brutal climate of the icy continent. On the fabric were insignias and emblems not identified as belonging to any known army. Near the uniforms were discarded boxes of equipment, including masks and gloves that would have been invaluable for surviving the inhospitable cold. On the tables lay maps and diagrams marked with routes and locations that may have held strategic importance. These finds prompted many questions. Who had created this equipment, and for what purpose? What goals had the people who left these items here in the snows and ice of Antarctica been pursuing? Adding to the intrigue was a collection of strange objects scattered in apparent disorder. Among them were devices resembling transmitters or communicators, but their design and functions remained a mystery. There were also crates containing unknown tools whose purpose could not yet be determined. Studying each item carefully would take time, and with every new step, the mysteries multiplied. One thing was immediately clear. These finds pointed to the presence of groups who had kept their activities hidden from outside eyes. These uniforms and equipment may have been used for secret operations or research projects unknown to history. The researchers realized deeper secrets lay ahead, buried in the icy depths, and each new discovery brought them closer to understanding the past concealed beneath the continent's impenetrable white veil. In the dark corners of one abandoned room, the team found strange devices that stood out sharply from the rest of their discoveries. On the walls hung massive metal structures, resembling something between scientific instruments and mechanisms of unknown purpose. The devices were firmly anchored, yet their function remained unclear. In the center of the room stood a large mechanism with buttons and levers, covered in frost and the dust of time. It looked like something that could have been used for precise experiments, or perhaps even for weapon-related purposes. On nearby tables lay scattered tools and parts clearly intended for the repair or modification of these devices. Small boxes contained tools and components, metal plates and wires. Some of these bore symbols identical to those found earlier in other parts of the building. The scientists examined each item meticulously, trying to determine its purpose and possible connection to other finds. Also discovered on the tables and shelves were old notes and sketches, which, despite damage, proved important for understanding the function of these devices. The blueprints, covered with mathematical formulas and schematics, appeared to be part of some secret project. It was clear to the researchers that before taking further steps, they needed to study each of these artifacts to determine their origin. Everything pointed to these devices being a key to uncovering the goals and intentions of those who had once left them here. The possibility remained that the team had stumbled upon one of the greatest mysteries, one that would capture the interest of the entire scientific community. Ahead lay the unresolved enigma of these strange mechanisms, once used or ready to be used for unpredictable purposes. The question of who had once lived and worked within these frozen walls remained unanswered, and the search for clues led the research team to new discoveries. In corridors coated with icy dust, they found personal belongings that clearly belonged to the mysterious inhabitants. Among them were worn diaries, photographs, and even letters, all written in an unknown language. Clear fingerprints on shelves and fragments of glass bore witness to the fact that life had once thrived here. Moving from one room to another, the team found remnants of small living quarters. The rooms were empty, but traces of everyday life remained. Abandoned household items such as dishes and blankets. These were neatly arranged, as if the residents had intended to return soon. On the tables lay forgotten personal items, watches, pendants engraved with symbols, and even an antique locket with a photograph. All of this hinted at personal stories, invisible to the eye yet deeply significant to those who had lived there. In one room, they found a book with a dark crest gleaming on its cover. The book contained sketches and writings that spanned time and space, depicting the lives of people who may have left their mark on a chapter of history we had never known. Each page held the mystery of past events and personal stories frozen in time. Despite all the discoveries, the main question remained unresolved. What had happened to these people, and why had they vanished, leaving behind everything that mattered to them? Much remained unknown, but the team had uncovered an entire layer of history to which they had never before had access. These mysteries of the past might hold the key to new discoveries in the future. Now, with every corner of the building explored, only time would tell what other secrets lay hidden in the depths of this icy continent. As they delved deeper into the icy structure, the research team encountered something that looked like a true puzzle. Among the layers of long-settled ice and frost were artifacts that amazed even the most skeptical members of the group. One such discovery was a massive gravitational generator whose design and operating principles were a mystery to modern science. The device seemed to harness forces that science has yet to fully understand. Next to the generator were control panels coated in layers of dust and frost. Their screens, long darkened, held complex diagrams and indicators frozen in time. Every button and switch spoke of deliberate engineering, difficult to explain by modern technological standards. Not all elements of the equipment were comprehensible. Some had no analogues even in the most advanced scientific laboratories on the planet. This left the team baffled, yet eager to unlock their secrets. Among the other discoveries stood a massive frame that seemed capable of transforming into something far more significant. The strange structure was equipped with an intricate system of levers and gears, frozen in perpetual ice. Perhaps it was the foundation of a device designed to interact with unknown elements, or even to serve as the basis for generating new forms of energy. Certain parts of this enigmatic machine were labeled with symbols previously found on the walls and in the documents. Each new find became part of a complex mosaic, where past and present intertwined into an unbroken thread. These technologies, hidden in the coldest place on Earth, seemed capable of changing not only scientific understanding, but also the very history of humankind. The task before the researchers was now to understand how and why these technologies had come to be here, and what other secrets remained buried beneath the Antarctic ice.